of times because I'm going to continue to add new content here. Namely, pop back to sketch here, this guy here. We're going to superimpose this stepper on top of that scrolling list. Although that might not be a problem given that it's out of the scroll view. So we're going to do this in a couple of different places, so we'll see how that works. All right, back to pizza. Okay, so copy this business. Actually, the name got tweaked again. I don't know why that happened. Name the scroll group. That's what we called it. Something like that. Okay, come to here, paste it, and then make the opacity nil. What we can see from here, oh, we have to deal with the transition. Can't be all at once. It needs to happen at the very end, right? So this guy here, and this goes there. So aligned with his brothers. Close this out. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, hang on. The salads fades out. That's weird. Salads. Why? I don't know why I care about them. So why does it fade out? Is the whole menu fading out? What's fading out there? Everything fading out? I think it's this. This is fading out. Scroll group. Opacity. Yep. No opacity. Fade. So it should go big. Yeah. Looks good to me. Save it. Going back to the start. All right. And start. Oh, we saw that error in the header. Until that point, looks like I'd expect. It feels like an app. I said this before, but just to reiterate, this feels like it's kissing the edge here in this. But when you have it on an actual device, maybe I will hook it up to the device and try to show you on the video screen. There's actually a black border that sits around the display on the phone. So this makes it look like this this menu is floating above the content here and the other. It doesn't look like it's so crammed against the edges like it does here. Let's see what we call this mirror. All right. So let's see here. So I'm going to bring this up to the camera here. I'm going to try to make the video a little bit bigger there for it. One video preview. So I'm going to do this. So let's see. See this here. Place in order. It's awful bright. Try that angle better. Menu. Pops up. Click the scroll. And again, it's hard to see, I know, on the screen, but it looks like it's kind of floating above the background content and not kissing the edge like it does in the little preview that you see elsewhere. So there you go. All right, so yeah, it looks nice. It always feels good when you put a lot of work in something and then it looks good in the end. So that makes me happy. So for this next piece, I'm going to try something with this that I haven't done in previous ones, which is to say, I'm going to make it so when you tap on one of these, the menu itself slides over and a new menu appears with the detail view. And then you say, select or go back, whatever, and then it slides back to the previous content. So to do that, I'm going to make another artboard Well, I'm gonna. It's tricky to say. I think I have already created here somewhere. I think it's here. One of these guys. This one, detail view. So I've got some content. This is a double size, but some content that would sit off to the side. Bring this up here for visual. And then when you mash on one of these menu items here, boom, it slides in to the side, starting from down here, right, like this. And then when you say go back, it slides back like this. So to do that, I'm going to put this element to the right of this content on the same artboard. And then on the next artboard, it's going to be the same thing, but I'm going to have all the content translated over. That way you see the two and the relationship between each other. So let's try that theory. We got 6. Prototype 6 seems to be working, so I'm going to make a copy of this. Give ourselves another fallback. We're getting into the higher risk areas now, so I'm making sure I've got these fallbacks. Actually, given that, I no longer need this older version, so we're sailing in uncharted territory now. It's fun times. Okay, so let's have your detail view. They put it on its own artboard. I'm going to shrink it down and set it side by side. Like that. I got some shitty cloud music playing right now. Thank you, but no. Okay, and again, the bottom edge of this is going to sit flush with the bottom edge of this other one here. I don't need this other artboard just yet. Again, the bottom edge here, flush with the bottom edge there. I'm going to horizontally center it. In theory, it is horizontally centered. And ultimately, it doesn't matter so much for this one because the two of them are not going to be on the screen at the same time. I'm just going to put, let's call that enough space between them. Right? So this, again, is part of the same artboard. This content sits here, this content sits there. Now when somebody chooses an option, it's going to slide from one to the other. Because the next artboard is going to be a duplicate of this one. Right, button. This artboard, duplicate, and then take all of our sweet content, and then you scroll group here, and the footer here. I'm going to see if that's problematic. I'll group them together. And then I group in this guy here as well. And then I'm scooching it all over. Oh, we get that white background element. Oh, we get that right. Then you run the rectangle. There, so they're all grouped now. So this slides over there. Okay, so there's nothing on this thing, so it doesn't really work. I'm going to start from this, and I'm going to make a tap target as a part of this scroller. Right here, it's going to be on the details side of this. So I'm selecting here, control click, like command click inside here, make a rectangle, bring that, right, because inside this layer, which is behind the other one. Bring that down here, superimpose it there. Now, again, we had this problem before where if we make something invisible, you can't tap on it by lowering its opacity. Because you make the opacity 0, it effectively removes the object from the prototype as far as principle is concerned. So we can't actually use a 0% opacity, but what we can do is change the fill and make the alpha 0. So it still thinks of it as being an object in the prototype, but it no longer removes it from, well, it no longer removes it as it would if you change the opacity, which is kind of quirky, but it is what it is. Okay, so in theory, if I tap here, It worked. Okay, wow. We're gonna go back to here. I'm gonna scroll it a little bit and see what happens now. Ah, so beautiful. So beautiful. Because my fear was that it was never gonna be able to let me do this when it was scrolled, but evidently I can be any scroll position I want. Tap on it. Oh, the header's appeared now. Gotta look out for that on this one. That's too funny. So how do we need to deal with that? I need to bring up the drivers when I'm on this guy and say, right, now that you're appeared, now that you have appeared, take this element and then translate it over the same number of pixels. So let's see, on this one, should be like this. It's easy when I'm working in units of 10, that way I don't have to count. It's just, you can line it up a lot easier. Okay, that should be straightforward. So I should be able to scroll it up to here, where I've got the fake header now, and then be able to tap on peach and goat cheese. Everything slides over. Thank you, gods, that's what we need. That is just so lovely. Okay, the other thing we're going to do is have this cancel button, this cancel button. In this, let's see, in this place here, if I hit the close button, it will close out the window. But as per the mockup, we want it to turn into a return to menu item when you're pivoted over. So we're going to create the new element, and then we're going to wire it up so that it actually takes you back. Oh, I'm so excited. Right. So this should fade to 0, and the other one should appear. So opacity goes to zilch, and the new one appears. Well, before I do that, I want to be able to line it up visually. Line this up. It's a glitch pixate, so I pixate principal. There we go. And we'll line up the arrow there, because I think that's the best element to line up. Looks good to me. There we go. Centers. Boom. Right, so I'm going to copy this element, drop it back onto this one here, set the opacity to zilch, and then do the same thing with this here, make it 0. So this now can be a trigger. I tap, we should take it back to this artboard. So let's test this theory. Boom. Scrolling through my list. It's a beautiful list. I can close the list. I'm always scrolling, by the way, to the bottom because there's a glitch currently when the thing's at full height. I hit close. Why is it not letting me close? Maybe it's just not what you do when you're full height. Maybe that's a glitch. That's interesting. But there is a glitch when the menu's open and it's got some height to it rather, and you hit close. It won't reopen properly. So yeah, I think it's probably better than that glitch exists. So it slides over, and it fades between the two states. Look at that. Ah, so happy. I could make this tap target on this state a little bit taller, because right now I can tap around it. But while I'm doing the prototype, I just need to make sure I target it. Or I put this element inside of a group with a layer with some padding. This is actually kind of late in the prototype, so I might get all the way up to that point and then screw it up because I missed the tap target. So I am going to do it now that I'm thinking about it. Putting it on the background. I do like the default size for these guys is 44 by 44. It's like your recommended tap size. So it's a smart move. turn tap target, and then this guy again would be alpha zilch. You just don't see it. We can still tap on it. Don't like this. Alright, the arrow is just an optical illusion there. Space there, space there. Okay, so that means we need to copy this element, bring it back to here, and then bring in some opacity. There we go. So there I am, scrolling through my menu, match my thing phase between states. You like that. This is kind of cool to see, because again, I've only ever seen this as a set of mockups. So seeing it come to life is kind of fun. I'm tempted to do something kind of iOS-y with the, you know how on iOS when you tap back the header of your phone screen, like the page moves, but then the header moves. That's like a different offset. I'm tempted to do something like that, where like I move this over, but the problem with that, I think, is coming back. Yeah, coming back is not compelling, not convincing. Well, I could just have it animate on the way back, couldn't I? So just freeze it in one direction and then not in the other. I'm saying freeze it on the way back. Yeah, that makes sense. So on the way back, we just say turn tab target X frozen. Okay, so we see it back, and I go back to it. Oh no, it just freezes it completely. That's not what we want. I think we need to do like a jump move, in other words. So on the way back, wait until the opacity has gone, and then just make it happen. So basically move this all after the last animation point, so it's completely transparent, and then it does its animation immediately, right? So just make it an immediate transition, and then park it immediately after that point, right? So your take there. How do you zoom in on this? Can you zoom in on this? I don't see any movement when this happens. There you go. Okay, so in theory that should work. Back to menu, yeah, and then come back to it, slides in, stays put on the way back. I like that. The tap target. I think I might want to come in from the other side on that one too. So we're going to close. When I set this up by, offset it by 1, 2, yeah, 2. I can send in the close over here. 1, 2. Alright, so we come back. The close button kind of slides in with it. It's going to look wrong going in this direction. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe we don't need to do this offset. What if I just do this for kicks and giggles? Okay, what if it is like this? Go like this. What do you think? I don't think it looks too bad. So long as it doesn't look like an accident. Alright. I think it looks good. Yeah, the more I see it. I'm gonna play with it on the phone here for a second. So that should be in good shape. And I can always decide to remove it later if I want to, but the animation, because it's just you move it over to you, it's simple. Okay, saving that. So I need to make it so that when you tap on this, well, that's the other problem here. I need to make this so when you tap on it, it moves you to a new state, which is to say, there's another artboard, so we're going to have to move the return tap to a different state. In that I don't want to, this will be on Rails, right? This won't be something you can explore just freely. This will be a scenario where when you get to this screen, you say select this item, something will appear, and then you'll go back, right? So that means we need to create a duplicate of this artboard that will have the return tap on it. And this one, and it will also be in the new state, right, with the new content sitting on top. So I need to do that. We're going to drink water, folks. Using this object in the background for placement, make sure we get the right vertical height. Again, it's supposed to look like this, ultimately. I have a white background here. So, item selected overlay. So I got the wrong element, evidently. Item selected, list item selected. No, this is for the list view. I want item selected overlay because I built in this additional padding to block out the mask out the content in the back, in other words. And then we're going to knock back the opacity so I can make sure this guy's lined up. Doesn't look like it's perfectly lined up. What do you need from me, buddy? You did that? Alright. There we go. So we have these two states. Select this item, pops to this state. Again, we might introduce an animation in the future, but that's in the future. This guy. So if I'm on here, I want it to be that if I tap on this, so I'm going to do this and add a tappable layer and put it over the top of this. It can be really loose. This is, again, needs to be a large enough target that I can tap on it when giving the when recording the video. Tap goes to this artboard, and the not the opacity but the fill alpha is zilch. See how so, and then the return to menu, this would be the return to menu button, not this one. So return to menu tap on this needs to go away. Because you're going to return from this state, not the other one. Right, so tap on this bad boy, bring it back to here. I didn't do the animation yet, but this is off by 20. This one needs to be off by 20 as well. So we're going to close it down here. Oh, I do have it off by 20 already, because I copied it from that state. Perfect. So return to menu. Right. So come to this. So select this item. And then when I come back, this needs to be in a different state. I'm not sure how I want to solve that. Not sure how I want to solve that. Because this list can be scrolled into a different position. This is not, you're not creating a state machine, right? You're not creating it in such a way that a previous artboard knows the changes that you made on the current artboard. So how are we going to do that? Should go cheese. Maybe I'll just have him go back and then select it from here. It's like simplicity. Put that later. For those of you just joining us, this is what we're working on currently. We've got this, make this full screen here for you. So we've got this prototype coming together where messages will come in, and you get these options you can choose from. Person selects one of these options. Menu, this menu pops up. Scrollable menu, full of options. Then you can select individual options on the list. And return to menu. So yeah, that's what we're building. Let's bring it back out of this full screen. Okay. So yeah, I think I will do that. Yeah, I think that's the smart choice here. So I'm going to delete this artboard here. So we jump from this layer to this layer that has a return to menu. Return to menu does, in fact, back to where we were before, take you to this artboard here. So right, return to menu, right? So all this is consistent. When I tap to select anything on this list, then this content will update. So I need to build that. So that's effectively taking this artboard again and duplicating it, and then, where are we now? Oh, I see, 12, 13 reversed. Right. Things get confusing when we got these states outside of our states, outside of our artboards. Effectively, artboard with content, artboard with content on the other side, artboard with content on the other side. So these are 1, 2, and 3 artboards. But we have this content dangling over the edge because we wanted to scroll in from off the screen. Okay, so let's see. We want it to be. We want the selected state to appear here. So not the item overlay, but the menu version. Where do I put that? This guy, list item selected. I put that inside of this group by command clicking this group and dropping that into there. So that it will be as though, oh, I didn't even put it in there. It'll be as though it's selected here in this context. And this opacity less than that. Line this out here. Shows vertically aligned inside that cell item. Shows horizontally aligned. I had to optically do it, unfortunately. Things like that. And we bring this to full opacity. God, no, it's a little bit. That's closer. One problem I'm seeing on my phone, the layering border. I'll fix that real quick. Right, so now slide it in there like that. That's what we want. Okay, so now we just need to tie it in so that when we tap on the previous state for this, it'll add this, and then this footer will update and this header will update all at the same time. Be able to scroll list. Yeah, we'll let it scroll list a little bit. Come back, select an item, see a preview of it, come back, select it, and then be able to purchase it. Okay. So let's see. This state will also have new header, right? This invisible one up here, this content right here, and this footer will all be updated, which is exciting. I'm not sure if I exported all the assets for those. I need to do that. Let's see, I see a disabled state, so let me export that real quick. Firm order 2 items. It's 1 item to make it flow a little bit. Well, no, actually, I have to scroll down in order second thing. It's additional complexity. So I have to come up with multiple states for this too. I have to do 2 items and then 1 item. Right? 2. And update the total and header and all that. Right, from order 1 item. Two items. And we have this, I have this empty header, but it's not doing anything good. I think I was thinking about using this for entering dynamic copy, but it's I think it's just easier because we have 2 states. Just use them raw as 2 states. So there's this menu item. So I have to figure out, actually, for the sake of accuracy, this is $9.85, and then the drink is another $3. So right, $3. So it would ultimately be $12.85. That starts off as $9.85. Attention to detail, folks. Alrighty. Total. Bingo. So these have very generic names right now. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Menu header. One item, we have 2 items. Oh, they're stacked for 1. There, it should be easier. Oh, it's reverse. There. Menu header 1 item. Menu header 2 items. Footer, blue button footer, blue button footer. 1 item. Fodder. 2 items. Okay, I'm going to mark these bastards for export. Then export them. There. So, we're going to have 2 states here, like I was mentioning before. 1 state where the salad's been selected, and another state where the drink has also been selected, where I have to use the driver in order to see where content is. Okay, so once you've got this selected, it's going to appear with assets over here. Menu header, 1 item. Remember, we have to do this here and in the invisible header, provided that they're scrolled far enough. They need to be able to see the header reflect the right amount. Oh, actually, I think there's a way to replace content, isn't there? I can select this thing. There you go, media. So I can say choose. I just drop in a new asset there. So presuming they're the same size, I think they are. Watching this back here. Oh, just to select the layer. Thank you for asking. There we go. So price updates. Easy. Thank you, principal. I'm going to say anything here for the footer. Media, choose, and then it's going to be blue button, 1 item. And just the select layer. There we go. Then I go to the top, it's going to pop to a different menu because they're swapping the element out. That's silly. Okay, look at the top here. And this magic menu header, we do the same thing. That makes it so much easier. So I don't have to deal with that. Menu, 1 item. And just the selected layer. Which you can't see now, but if you scroll, the price stays accurate. It's the details. I'm just going to mesh this guy, and then it's going to add another item, another thing there, and select it there. Beautiful. So let's build this in. We need a tap target in order to get to this state. This thing's not connected. There's no interactions here. So we come back to U, and we add a rectangle. We'll bring this rectangle. Layer stacking again. We're going down to here, and we're going to put it in this group here. So that, there, make a big tap target. Last thing I want is to screw this up while giving presentation. And we put this inside, so we'll scroll. That's what we want. And we make the, not the opacity, but the fill 0%. We give this layer a good name. Let's say select peach. Select peach. When you tap on select peach, it's going to bring you over here, so you'll be able to see a little bit more easily. Right, so boom. Oh my god, that's so nice to see. Right, do this. And the reason it's so nice is because I can be scrolled to any point here, and it updates Bing, Bing, and Bing, regardless of my scroll point. Which is it's just super nice. Beautiful. All right. Now we do the same thing, but this time we're going to take very similar. We're going to copy it. It says select peach. I got to remember to change the name, and then we're going to put it down below because again we're using driver here. We want to select. What did we decide? Cucumber, ginger, lime. This matters because the last state of the prototype. Cucumber, ginger, lime, fresca. Yep. Cucumber, ginger, lime, fresca. So here we are. Paste it here. It's inside the scroll group. It's way too far north, so we scooch her down. All right. And then in theory, we should scroll with it. Yay! Hooray! Hooray! Okay, so this should be the tap target for bringing us to the next state, which is going to have two items selected, and one of which is the drink, the beverage. So let's do that. I get really tempted to put this beverages header in there because I know I'm going to start up here and going to scroll down to the bottom here, and catching it might be tricky. But I'll probably just scroll slower and get to there and just do it like that. So there we go. Okay. So we need to get the duplicate of this artboard. I could probably delete this and both of these and be okay. We'll verify that theory real quick. Jump back to here, new menu, scroll through my business, jump to the next one, jump back, select an item, scroll, and there's no tap target there. I think we're fine. So I think you only really need this because these two go back and forth. But once you select one of these guys, then we get rid of the ability to jump to the sudden pages, so to the detail views. Let's see. So we have the same state as we had before. Tap target's here. We'll nix the tap target and then grab the where'd it go? I had this drivers. This element. This item selected. I need a duplicate of that. Yeah, I should give it a better name, but I'm not too fussed right now. I know it's just going to do two of these. Okay, looking on the vertical there, looks better. Okay, so I should be able to be on this state. Just go anywhere I want and say, oh, did I not? I didn't hook it up yet. And then say untap. Take me to that bad boy. Right, so I'm just going through here. I say, oh, cucumber ginger lime. That sounds nice. Boom. And then these guys need update as well. This is really coming along. I'm happy with this. So let's see. This one gets switched to the new header 2 items. Just select the layer. The price is now different. So I come back to this one here and I select this. Price goes up. Great. And the footer here, same story. Blue footer 2 items. Just this layer. There we go. So now I should be able to go back here. Again, with the list, I got one thing selected. Scroll all the way down to here. And say, oh, that sounds nice. Select it. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. So I'm going to save the shit out of this. Make a new copy here. And then we're going to finish this thing up. So at this point, we've gone through this much of the flow, right? We've placed an order, sure thing, order for delivery, perfect. What would you like? View menu, popped up in the menu, scroll through the menu, said show me the details for this, saw the details for this. We're nixing this step because returning to this one when it's in a different state is not something that seems it's going to be possible. So we're going to say this, show me the details, go back to menu, see the list again, select that from here, move forward, scroll down, select this, say confirm order, and then for it to drop this content back onto the page. So that's the plan. Let's make it happen. I need to make sure this is exported as well, because I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I'm going to group these guys together. And then export as a 2x. Name would be and say final state, or messages final state. Message template final state. Okay, bring this to the window, to the screen, drag it up there. Golden. So we've got this one and that one, the final state, right? And I haven't really solidified what I want to do for this final state yet. I'm thinking when you say confirm, you know how it goes from, back to this over here. You know how when you close out, let's scrub here. When you close out and it goes returns to the button shape. Like what if it returned but like to a message? And like the message would appear from that box. We'll see how that feels. It might feel weird. It might feel great. Find out. This is why we prototype things. Okay, so we're in Sketch again. Back to principal. We've got all this business. I think I want to effectively duplicate this artboard here, where things are, you know, where the names are the names I want them to be. I'm at the very end here. Okay. So that way, when you say dismiss, everything will shrink down into this guy in theory. We're going to test that there real quick. Right. So this close button. No, it's not going to close button at all. It's going to be this confirm button. Now going to be linked into tap this. Boom. I'm also going to make it so that when I tap on somewhere here on the screen, it's going to let me go back because I need to be able to do that easily. Let's make the artboard. Tapping the artboard, taking it back. There. Tapping the artboard, I'm back a step. Right. So I got these states. Everything's the way I want it to be. I say confirm. It goes back to view menu, which is what I want right now. I want it to go to view menu, but now I'm going to change it from being view menu to our final state. All right. Okay, so we need this guy, the final template. Recenter these bad boys. It's off by a pixel or half pixel, it's hard to tell. Half pixel again. Of course it is. There we go. Okay, and then this is right there. Seems to be good. So now we just need to align this to the bottom so that we've got 5. There we go. So we scooch it up by 10. We'll get rid of, not that bad, there's this guy in the background. And we scroll through, that's in the way. Hide them here, scroll through. And this guy in the background. Got these 0% opacity items just sitting on top, getting in the way of things. Oh, I see what's going on here. So this is the flat image background. So I can just cover that up with white rectangle. A good friend white rectangle. Looking really crude about this because it's going to be white, so it went right in. And then these were 10 offsets, so they can go like that. And this is off by 10 at the bottom. Beautiful. So that's what we want, but now we want it to be the layer I hid, wherever it went. All these layers I hid, close, maybe scroll over, tap target. Did I cover it? That's it, yep, covered it. Right, so I'm just going to size this, which is now transparent. I want to be transparent. Why is it transparent? Do this, move it up here. Let's see if that makes any sense. I think we're off by 0.5 in some cases. Right, so you should see the menu go, it should move down. Right now the white is going to be obnoxious, so we'll play with that in a second. So it's going to do that, right? Except it's going to have text in it. So I wonder if making the fill go transparent will give us the effect that we want. Right, so I'm going to tap to go back. I say confirm, so I go through this whole thing, I find what I want, I say confirm order. So the content's still there. This is not quite the effect we want. Maybe if they make it blue instead of transparent, and then the text just pops in, if that feels better. Whoa, that's a lot of blue. It's the wrong color blue too. This blue. Alright, so come back to here. Alright, so it pops down like that. And then the text should appear. So maybe we just have to fade out when it lands. So we have this on coming this direction. Maybe we set the opacity to 0, but then we just do an offset, right? So we say opacity 0. Then down here, the opacity is now an option. If that shows up right. So do this. So confirm order. Let's get some artifacting. We'll figure that out in a second. Oh, I see. These guys should be showing up the last second. So where's this? Message template final. Is it showing up here at all? No, because I have to put it on the previous step. Right. So copy that, put it back here. Make it set up to the very bottom. And then the opacity is 0. And then from here, I'm going to set the opacity to be 100, but again, it's going to be offset. Very end. Is that way it does the animation? Is that right? No, it's not right. So what we need is a flat version of this last one. Yeah, because it's going to be moving up from the back, which means it needs to be, it can't just pop into place on top. It also means we need a new version of the blurred state, or else it's going to be a weird blur to this transition. Okay. Okay, so we take this and then duplicate it, we group it, and we export that just as it is. Background, color, include, export, great. 7 copy, let's call it 7 copy. And then I'm just going to make a blurred version of this. Well, let's call it 7, and I'll make a blurred version and call it 7 copy. Go away. Okay. So 7. Now, I'm going to blur it some way. So the way we did this before was we made this background black. Put a fill behind it. There we go. So that, yeah, like that. And then we flattened this, shizness, and then we shrunk it to what dimension? We locked it down, didn't we? We blurred it and we shrunk it. 2 elements. So height is 607. And the reason this matters is because we want these things to be the exact same size as the other blurred element we have in the document. That way we can just replace it on that level, on that layer. Then we need a Gaussian blur, and then knock to 50%. Export that. There we go. So the names are a bit weird, but close enough for now. Okay. So we have to figure out which pieces go away, which pieces stay. This template can go away because this background is going to be updated to contain it. So let's see here. 2 is replaced with 7. Right. Perfect. What would you like? And the answer. Right. Just a select layer. Boom. So up comes the answer. And then the blurred state, which I think is this, which is opacity of 0 right now. We have a change to the scale and all the rest, I believe. Oh wait, I exported it a different way, didn't I? I did a different way, didn't I? Yeah, because I think last time I did this when I exported it, which is different, relatively different. So just give it the same name and then drop it. Let's say at 1x, we need to be at 2x. Details here. Go drop it in here and we replace it. Just keep both. That way I can fall back if I need to. This versus that. The size is slightly different. Okay, so we come from here back to here. This layer here. Replace it with 7 copy 2, which in theory is the right one. Just select the layer. We'll probably have to replace it on this layer too, both those elements. Right? Because I would wager if we come to here, watching the background real quick, confirm order. Hang on. From here, my background. Let's see. Excuse me. think we'll get away with this. I think what's going to happen is the background's going to jump when we move from one item selected to two items selected, which I could work on sorting out, except that our flow is going to go from them having an item selected up here. Go back to step one, right? Going to go from them being here, selecting an item, then scrolling down, effectively covering up this background, getting down to here, selecting another one. When they do this selection, the background will jump, but you can't see it. So it's not a problem, really. Say confirm order, and then watch the background. That looks pretty good. I'll double check everything's good there with the back. Like that. So that height is a little bit weird. That very tail, too taller at the last second. What's that about? Oh, we're offset now. Now it should look better. Bingo, bingo. For order. I think that works. Let's just confirm, wait, save, then confirm from the top. Choose linear. Yeah, see that one. Scroll down. I'll do that one. Great, confirm order. Ladies and gentlemen, I think there we are. Okay. Well, now I've saved that. We have a good working version. This is why I like to save a duplicate. And we can always fall back to 8 if we need to. All right, so now I'm going to go through and do a video recording of this. I'll play with it on the phone for a second here first, actually. Play with some of the timings, make sure we feel in the right order. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have this automatically start. Because I don't want this to be on tap. I want this to be an autoplay. It starts after like half a second. A second or two, I should say. Do a tab. More. This one here. I'm going to move these down a second. So now it starts by itself. Simple. Okay. Start here. I'm going to get 2 seconds. I think 1 second's too fast for me. Ultimately, I can trim that time off if I need to. Too much, saving too little. Again, we still don't have a blinking cursor. I can go add that in later. We still don't have a live blur effect for the background. Those are minor details at this point. Okay, so we started. You know, it's a good prototype when you see options that you haven't built and you want to interact with them. It's very convincing. All right, one thing I noticed as I was going through was we didn't catch the same nuance in the opening animation as we had in the original prototype. So if I go back to here, when this menu opens up, the horizontal and the vertical are in step with each other. And I liked that the previous version had the X open slightly faster than the vertical, right? So when it opens, it hits the edge first and then the vertical goes. I don't know if I'm capturing that. Oh, I should just resize this. It's a lot easier to see the effect. It floats out there like that. I think the blurred background happens fast enough that using a video for that, it's going to be a negligible improvement. I used a live blurred background for another prototype for Curator, back when I worked for Curator, where there's content that live updated in the background as you were using the interface sitting on top of it. Here we don't have that, so it's not nearly as important. Why is this not working? X. Oh, it's the X position. I want to be width. So I want it to hit full width before it hits full height. Right? So you see the So what's happening there? What if full width and full height both happen? It feels a little bit smoother, don't you think? Something's weird about this height. I did the Y. That was a problem. That feels weird. It feels like it's too tall, and then it snaps back in. See that? Why is that? Is it on spring? No, it's on normal. Yeah, maybe height just needs to be offset. Maybe that's what I did last time. Right, that way it does X first, then it does Y later. I feel like that feels like it's peeling open a little bit more, the way I want it to. Go cheese, and say go back, and say select, scroll down, and say select, and confirm. I like that. I like that. It just drops it in like that. Alright, I think I'll do my recording now. So I'm going to go back to start. So record with touch cursor. Recording ruined. Touch cursor. It really bothers me that I don't have a good place to hide this cursor while the animation's playing. I don't want it to be distracting while it's playing. We just gotta go down here. I feel like I see it. It's kind of screwed up. Very big. We do have a little jump there. I have to fix that now. Because we changed the artboard. We normally had this artboard move to this artboard only during an animation, but now it automatically forwards you there, so you do see a slight shift, which bothers me. Go from this one to that one, this one to that one. What is it? This content must be moved over 0.5. Is that right? Okay, I think that solves the bulk of the concern I have. This stuff down here is also a little bit weird, but I think if you go from this, It needs to be happening during animation, or else you'll notice it. 5. So go from here. What would you like? Right. So in this example, it jogs over half a pixel, but you don't notice it because it's moving up. Well, actually, I see it there. Why? What would you like? And then it jogs over. Maybe just have to update all of them. That's annoying. 0.5. Oh, that's why. I think this is why, at least. Yeah, I don't see it when I do this way. Yeah, I don't see it there. Good. Pixel pushing. Hooray. Okay. So when I do these recordings, I typically will go full screen. I don't know why. I feel like it's more like, you know, you're in presentation mode. Touch cursor, and then begin. We lost some performance there. I have to redo it because of that. Now I start dropping my exports, my videos, videos folder, videos, video exports, I should say. And just do a whole like shitload of these, because you never know when you're going to get it right. You know which one you'll prefer. You notice the keyboard jumping there a little bit. It does bother me. So it's nice and smooth now. I like that. I could do it. I could do it. That could be it. It's actually my keyboard jumping. What am I going to do about that? I think, okay. So I built it in such a way that I thought this frame would only happen during an animation, and then I had to shift things around, kind of in situation. But what we can do is, well, I thought we could do that. I guess we can't do that. Here, this is off 0.5. Yeah, it's off 0.5. So I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a gap in the artboard. I'm not seeing a gap here. So I'm not sure quite why that is, or why when I update this. Oh, because I got the wrong layer selected. Does that solve it? Does that solve it? Now I see the keyboard jump again. How does it jump? It's almost like the height changes. This is really annoying. Okay, let's try this. Vertical height, make this 7. Just here's it. Is the height actually changing? Oh, it's on a quarter pixel. This is just all kinds of screwed up. So that's not good. keyboard, looking at this corner here, the keyboard seems to be lined up perfectly now. I'm not sure what to do about this header here. It might be good now too. Capacity. I'll go back to, well, I just copy and paste it back actually. From here to there. So it'll go slightly sharper. And this sort of jogs to the side. I don't know if it's a half pixel, quarter pixel, what it is, but it's moving just a hair. Alright, can't do that. That'll get angry. Okay, so I think why is that doing that? Oh, I keep doing that. It's like the wrong route. I need to hide that business. That way I don't keep selecting it accidentally. Simply goes for you, buddy. There. Right, so the X position is on 0.5. I don't know if we have a gap against this outer edge. We do. That's a full pixel jump now. Alright, so come back to here. All I see is a line up here on this edge, which I can probably mask with a white pixel, but everything else seems to be lined up now, which is a miracle. Yeah, there's a big missing gap there in the background. It's a big white gap. Okay, that's usable. That's doable. Normally I don't care so much about the details for this, but this is meant as a portfolio piece, so I like to try and keep it as inscrutable as possible. White layer, white mask layer on the background. White background. Okay. So in theory, I should see nothing. And I see nothing. Okay. Wait, no, I see a line there. Why is there black line appearing? Oh, because I have overlaid. Right, okay. I got rid of the keyboard problem by overlaying my keyboard. My problem is now I've overlaid my keyboard and it has a shadow on the edge there. So I need to take that white background, duplicate it, and drop it right behind the keyboard. Which is silly, but it's going to work. No idea where it is. It's layer stack. I'm not seeing it at all. I'm not seeing it at all. Where are you? There you are. Are you in the keyboard? No. Oh, there you are. Behind the messaging bar. So from here, there. No difference. Not a single half pixel. Now, do we lose anything from here to there? God, it's so good. Okay. Saving that. That should be good. Details, folks, the details. Oh, now we got a spinning cursor. I'll try again without the spinning cursor this time. I did that, I thought, so well, I didn't even hit record. Started. Okay. Delivery. View menu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can reach out to me on Twitter. My handle is Verbiate, so I'm at Verbiate, and I'll see you around for the next one.